Okay, so uh, Pens and Papers Craft asked me to do a reaction video to one of her videos, especially when it comes to her artwork. She's asking in her journals, she was just asking if maybe uh, people can offer any sort of comments or criticisms, constructive criticisms on her work. And this is my reaction video. I apologize that this is not very polished. I've never actually done this before, but I wanted to get something out tonight because I have a pretty busy weekend ahead of me, and I felt this was important. I wanted to be able to participate. I thought it was very I was very honored that to be asked. So let's get into this. I'm actually pretty excited about this.
We were good, we were gold.
How you got into
Kind
black
of
and white
dream
artwork.
that
Okay.
can't be sold. We were right till we weren't. Built a home and watched
Okay.
it burn. I didn't wanna leave you, I didn't wanna lie. Started to cry,
Well, that's
but then
very nice for
remembered
12 years old. That's very nice for in any age, actually.
I can't buy myself flowers. Write my name in the
That's very, very
sand.
nice.
Talk
I
to
love the color
myself for
scheme, this color schemes that you
hours.
did on
So
there.
see things you don't
I love the back on that
understand.
one.
Oh, I can take myself dancing, and I can
and the
hold
and
my own
the way the
hand. Oh, I
skirts
can
made it.
love me better than you
That shows a lot of sense of style. Oh, that's nice.
paint my
That's very
nails cherry
symbolic.
red to match the
So you've gone
roses
here
that you
from doing
left.
just
No
posing, which is fine because you were
remorse,
doing
no
fashion design, into
regrets.
more
I
subtle,
forgive every word
ex-
you ever said.
subtle
I
references
didn't wanna
to
leave you, I didn't wanna
emotions, like with the
fight.
flowers over the
Started to cry,
eyes.
but then remembered I can't buy myself flowers. Write my name in the sand. Talk to myself for
Well, highlighters are going to feel
hours. See things
cheery.
you don't understand.
They're going to
And
feel
I
very
can take
happy.
myself
Although I
dancing.
think the contrast, like here,
And I
between
can
the girl,
hold
here I'll
my
stop this
hand.
for just one moment. Um, the example there with the girl lying in bed, clearly she's upset about um, her boyfriend going back home, I would imagine, and even having I think it was a nice contrast actually having this bright blanket and bright pillows with this poor girl lying there in a fetal position. It was clearly she was in a fetal position because all the like the folds on the blanket were like kind of going around her body where you can see that, and then the phone lying next to the pillow was very telling that she was just waiting for that phone call that may or may not come. It's like it was a nice contrast. I feel that it was very relatable for a lot of people. I feel that's very relatable. So I think it was very good. I really do. But then, and then you say, okay, so you said that it didn't feel like it matched until you started using a black marker. Well, yeah, that having that starkness, um, I don't know if that's actually a word, but having that stark contrast is going to make a hard impact on people's perception. In fact, I think that's why they incur. It's what your brain. Don't quote me on this, but I do know that I think with babies, black and white are the first colors that they really react to. It's not that they can't see color, it's just that that's what their brains react to, and I imagine that sticks with us our whole life. Um, It doesn't necessarily mean that it's negative or positive or anything in between. It's just something our brain seems to recognize the easiest. I think that's probably what it boils down to. So that's so it's something that's very relatable for everybody in pretty much every culture, I would imagine. Um, just that black and white and nothing in between. I can imagine that um, there isn't anybody who wouldn't have a problem identifying that right away and coming to their own conclusions in their head, what it is that they're looking at. Um, so, yeah, yeah, I don't know if I'm making much sense, but basically, I think it's what our brain recognizes the easiest here. But I do love the style there. I especially love the lace. Aw, I like your mom's dress. Oh, that's wonderful.
I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the
I see that you're
sand, talk
enjoying the
to
black
myself
marker with
for
the colors.
hours,
I
see
think you
things
like
you
that
don't
difference. Um,
understand. Oh, I can take myself dancing,
that is a very good
and
schematic.
I
You
can
have a
hold my
gift
hand. Oh, I can
of
love me
doing
better than
doing
you
schematics like that is not easy. Oh,
can.
that's nice. Okay,
I can
I
love me
see.
better than
There you
than
okay, you're definitely developing your own
than
style.
you. I can love me better
Now, I
than
will say
you.
I
I
have
can love
always
me
loved and
better
I
than you.
don't think there is anybody who doesn't like that that extreme between you have like with your sunset you have these beautiful orange and yellow and like pinks and everything and then you have this black mountains right there in front of you and it just really stimulates the brain and gets you thinking or imagine I should more like imagining uh, what's beyond in those mountains, what's up, like what's there on the horizon, or if you're looking at a picture where you have this beautiful blue sky and then you have these black branches that are in front of that big blue sky and you just love that contrast because you immediately recognize and I think again I think it goes back to um, it might be it might be worth looking up what the theory is about children or especially babies and you and how black and white like in their how their brain reacts to black and white um and it's like I think that like I said I think that carries over into adulthood and and of course as we've gotten older or it's like the now we have the that black now against colors um and I think the whole thing is that the black contrast gives us something that we immediately recognize but isn't holding us to um something stagnant that it's like it might be up like black branches but what kind of tree is it and where is that tree and what does it remind us of in the past or or what do we think it can be and um I think it's more impactful when you have that color with it. Um, your oil pastels are beautiful, and I oil pastels in my mind are not one of the easiest mediums to work with. Often I just see adults use them the way that kids like would use a crayon. They just sort of just color with it, which is fine if that's what you're going for. But I, the only way I can ever use oil pastels and not make it look like a crayon like I just like color with a crayon, is if I do like Monet little pointillism, like the little, it's like, and it's like it takes forever and a day. But I I do really enjoy how you'd made the oil pastels with that black contrast. I think that's just beautiful. I really, really do. And I can see a lot of development in your artwork. And I never want you to think, or anyone ever to think, that they are taking a step back if they try to work with some other medium and they're not able to uh, handle it or do it right away, or even if they try to practice with it. Um, any time that you are working with a anytime you are developing yourself more, it's going to feel like a step back. Not just because you're learning it, because it's also because you're tapping into another part of your brain essentially, and exercising that muscle into doing something that it's not used to doing, and it's going to feel weird and it's going to feel odd, and it's going to give you a headache. But you just got to keep working at it, and uh, and you will start applying other stuff that you've learned from something. You may end up taking those where you had the highlighters and saying, hey, and I'm not saying to do this, I'm just saying this, like, for example, maybe I want to try a highlighter over the oil pastels. Not that I've ever done that. It's not, seriously, it's not that. The reason why I even bring this up is because lately I've actually been using clear nail polish over in one of my, this one actually, the one I just did with the girl, this one, the little cyberpunk girly. um, I actually had wanted uh, the neon lights and everything. I wanted that to be more shiny, and this was all pencil. This was all like colored pencil, and so I actually took the clear nail polish and went over it with the over the colored pencil. It's hard to pick it up in a like a photo, but in real life you can actually see it. It has a that sheen to it, obviously, because I painted right over it. And I've been working on the dragon one, and like with this one, again, you can't tell it all in this sort of through a camera, but I went over his eyes with the clear nail polish, and now his eyes have the sheen to it. So, um, and that's just over charcoal pencil. So it's just practicing with different things. It's never going to hurt anything to just try it. And I think that you are really heading into a wonderful direction. I can't wait to see what more you end up doing. I think your work is absolutely beautiful. I really, really do. Um, so thank you so much for asking me. Of course, I've subscribed, and I'm definitely going to take some inspiration from much of your work, and I'm very excited to see what else you come up with. So thank you again for asking me. No one ever did that for me before. No one ever asked me that before. So thank you, thank you. That was very sweet of you. So again, I apologize. This is not very polished, but it will be a busy weekend for me, and I definitely did not want to I didn't want to put it off because I wouldn't know when I'd be able to come back to it. And it was important to me to actually do something as soon as I can. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And take care of yourself and keep drawing. Bye bye. Thank you again.